Ah, yes, the 1990s, arguably the best period of Disney movies, like classics like Aladdin, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, Tarzan, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Welcome back, Cozy Club. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. We've got ourselves the Hunchback of Notre Dame characters coming to Disney Sorcerer's Arena. And don't get me wrong, you know, I probably would have forgotten about Quasimodo and Esmeralda and definitely Claude altogether if they didn't come back in this game. And I love seeing these kind of old Disney characters. Now, today we're going to talk about this new upcoming Hunchback of Notre Dame characters and the Tower event coming, which will be coming into DSA. Are these characters any good? Do you want to go after them, farm them to ultimately get Claude in the towers? We're going to be answering that question today. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to look at their stats, their abilities, and then if you guys want to see some live testing, we'll be doing that on my Twitch channel on Saturday. But for today, we're going to concentrate on Quasimodo and Esmeralda. Now, if you're looking for content on Claude in the tower and everything like that, we will go ahead and have that live on my Twitch Saturday with a video coming out Monday. And Claude is looking very solid as well. Insane stats, really unique abilities. But let me tell you, I haven't gotten a lot of testing, but these two characters stat-wise and ability-wise are pretty freaking awesome. They look a lot better than both Raya and even maybe Namari, as well as definitely the Rescue Rangers. So for today's video, we're going to go ahead and take a dive into their kits, where they're going to work well, what I see in this awesome potential in some of these characters, and what teams I see them plugging into. Now, Quasimodo is actually looking like a very good distraction of a tank, and Esmeralda is looking like the next great support with Anna and Pocahontas. So Cozy Club, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this movie we all forgot, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the characters coming to DSA. All right, Cozy Club, we're going to go ahead and jump right into their kits. Again, if you want to see me test them at full T8, maxed out strength, you can go ahead and check out my Twitch channel right here. We're going to be testing them out, getting Claude this weekend, and having a lot of fun doing it. And if you haven't joined the Cozy Club today, go ahead and subscribe. It's absolutely free. And join the club today. Let's go ahead. As always, we're going to start out looking at Quasimodo and checking out these stats. Now, you guys can go ahead and see he's got some pretty solid stats in a few areas. First of all, 884 defense, pretty solid there. He's got 28,000 health, which is going to be the statistic you really want to make sure you look at, because that is what it's all about with the Hunchback over here. You've got crit chance at 19%, pretty high for crit chance there. Crit power at 180%, speed at that 125, so about 3 points less than that average speed that you're going to see. Tenacity's at a whopping 33% with potency at 17, which is going to really tie in well with his kit. So defense, health are both above average, what you're going to definitely want with this entire kit, and how Quasi is going to work on the battlefield. Now, right off the bat, you're definitely going to want a health stone on Quasimodo. He's there to be this distraction, this annoying tank that the enemy has to get through before they get through your other characters. But we'll get to that here in a second. But let's go ahead and look at his first basic ability, his basic attack, and that is going to be no soldiers, my friends. You're going to be dealing up to 2,000 damage. So again, Quasimodo, he's not going to be a powerhouse. He's not throwing the big punches, but he is going to be able to do a lot with each of his abilities, starting with his basic attack. Now, first of all, he's going to deal 75% of this character's shield as bonus damage, up to a maximum of 2,619. They definitely had to put that cap on there, because if you put Maui and some other shield bearers like Hiro Hamada, you're definitely going to be able to abuse this attack. So it looks like they capped that off. You are also going to be able to put continuous damage out on the field, dealing a good healthy amount of damage as well, and call Esmeralda and the little goat to assist as well. So again, decent basic. Anything that can do anything outside of damage is pretty solid, and calling a hero to assist is great. All right, enough about the basic. Let's go ahead and get to his special and his passive. That's where he really shines. And to be honest, I see him being a very great free-to-play tank. Not gonna lie, he's actually gonna be really solid to plug in with some of the characters that you already have and be a big distraction for the enemies. And that's gonna start here with his first special, Sanctuary, which is gonna deal up to 3,000 damage. Again, not a lot to flanking opponents. This is actually gonna be really good just to clear those evades that you continue to see on the battlefield. And then for a taunting ability, very solid here for Quasi. He's going to be gaining himself a Protect, which is the new kind of taunt in the game. We'll kind of get into that in a second. He's going to give shield equal to 7% of his max health, which is why it's important you have that health stone. Grant the teammate with the lowest health more shield, 7% of Quasimodo's max health, and undefeatable. Now, Cozy Club, why this is very solid is usually the lowest health characters on the team are going to be your offense characters, your heavy hitting characters. So Quasi is going to protect the weakest link in the bunch, which is great with some just a little bit of extra shield. You're looking at about 2,000-ish shield that he'll be able to stack on top. Looking at the rest of the ability, if Esmeralda is a teammate, you're going to grant her stealth for 1 turn and evasion, making her very hard to get to with her passive as well. This is going to marry perfectly. Love that they're kind of building some synergy together. But if you notice, not all of their kits are dependent on Hunchback of Notre Dame characters. There's actually some good plug and play ability with these characters. But before we get to the next ability, I want to talk about Protect. Now, we've got pre-taunters like Baymax and then kind of Monterey Jack, but Protect is becoming this new taunt mechanic that is becoming a huge annoyance, but a good thing for definitely free-to-play and more expandability in leadership roles. Now, obviously, speed is king, but with Pocahontas, we've seen some high-hitting hero offense characters. And what I like about Protect now is you're going to have a bunch of different cycling taunts throughout the battlefield. And I see Quasi, man, I see Quasi here being extremely annoying, even more annoying with Hercules, which is exactly what we needed. More reasons to hate Hercules. You put Quasi with Herc, Pegasus, and Miguel. He's going to be a nightmare because you're never going to be able to go to Hercules. Now, right off the bat, what I do see about Quasimodo is he's going to be taking a lot of heat, a lot of debuffs, a lot of heat because he'll have Protect on himself while protecting the other members in your team. However, the good thing about this is he can cleanse a lot of this with his passive, and because it's Protect, that taunt is going to expire, and then the enemy is going to have to move on to another character, allowing Quasi to kind of restore up and do these pretty solid special attacks. Not damage-wise, but what they can do altogether. Now, looking at Cauldron of Flame, his next special, he'll be doing an AoE attack, not a lot of damage, so don't focus on that. Crit power down, which is going to tame down those big crit damage abilities that are going to be coming from characters like Barley Bombs and other things like that. You'll also flip 2 helpful effects on all of the enemies. This is absolutely insane for a free-to-play tank, guys. So not only are you going to be getting rid of the buffs, you're going to be purging that and then flipping it to continuous damage. And then if the opponent already has continuous damage, you're going to inflict an additional continuous damage per effect flip. So this is going to obviously marry well into some more continuous damage teams, but also has some great plug-and-play standalone ability. Now, Quasi's passive is super unique, and this is what's going to make him that annoying tank like we were talking about. He's going to be consistently disrupting your enemy and not being able to focus on the main character that they want to kill, like your Dash, your Stitch, your Elsa, and he's going to be taking the blows. Now, if you read into it here, the first time a non-summoned teammate falls below 30% health, so that's not going to work with the eels or anything like that. So anytime any of the other characters fall below 30%, Quasi is going to gain a Protect, so a taunt, counterattack, shield equal to 6% of his max health. He's also going to go ahead and cleanse the stuns, the sleeps, and the charms that he'll naturally get within the battle from having all that Protect. And then lastly, he's going to grant that teammate 6% of his shield, and he's going to have Esmeralda, if that's the one that is affected, get undefeatable. So why this is crazy is you're going to be giving these characters that are about to die just a little bit more survivability. Now, just to go ahead and throw this all together, you're going to keep getting this auto taunt with Quasimodo as your characters on the field go down in health. So they're going to have to either hit Quasi or go through him to get to your other characters. They're going to get counterattacked on the way. Now, where this is going to have some trouble is against Hades. Now, obviously, if you put him with Maui, it's going to team up really well for all these shields and extra protection on the team. However, Hades is just going to absolutely decimate these characters with his big shield hitting abilities. I think Hades is going to have a field day. He's already going crazy. But altogether, that shouldn't stop Quasimodo from being a premier legit tank. Now, just for a quick example, take Hercules, Pegasus, Phil, and Quasi. You're going to have to be going through Hercules Protects. That's going to cycle to Quasi. And you're never going to be able to kill the character with Protect on them because other characters on the team are going to cycle that Protect. You go ahead and put Pegasus with that damage mitigation and more Protect. And when Hercules falls below 30% health, good luck getting back to him. This is actually going to help the top of the meta, and Quasi altogether, doesn't matter really who you pair him with, is going to be a great free-to-play tank. Now, we've seen these tower events, and I'll be honest, the characters typically, they're just not great. Flynn Rider, he's okay, but he doesn't pair up with anyone well. If you look at Maximus, you're not going to be using him either. So Quasi and Esmeralda both look worth your time. And speaking of Esmeralda, let's go ahead and check out her kit, because I'm pretty dang excited about this Gypsy, guys. She has a very solid support kit. She's going to be great in the raids and really help you along throughout the game. Let's go ahead and dive into Esmeralda and check out those character stats first. Checking out the stats here, we've got ourselves 1,811 offense. Not too bad, not too shabby. Some moderately high defense at 734, 22,000 health, so a bit on the lower side, but she's going to have a lot of protection through evasion and stealth, so they're not going to be able to get to her too easy, and they've got to go through Quasi. Now, crit chances are going to be at 9%, speed at a whopping 129, which is going to be 1 point over kind of the average in DSA, giving her that little bit of extra speed to allow her to use her support abilities the right way. Now, outside of that, you're going to have potency at a staggering 40%, tenacity at 13, accuracy at 20%, and evasion at 5. So really solid kit altogether. She's going to be a good character at T7 and an awesome character at T8. Let's go ahead, let's check out why and look at her basic ability. Hitting below the belt. How perfect of a name. Freaking love it. Deal up to 2,700 damage. Not too much to the target opponent. You're going to call her summoned goat to assist. Now, if it's not a teammate, you're going to go ahead and resummon that. So the goat's going to keep on coming. And that goat right there, ladies and gentlemen, will have 11,000 health. Not a lot of defense, kind of a bit of a distraction, but can do some great assisting with the Kingdom faction. Now, this is all within just the basic ability and some things that kind of stand out. First of all, Goat's not going to be too good in the raid. You don't want to feed that turn meter to the boss, but her other abilities will. And looking at the Goat altogether, once it dies in the raid, leave it dead. But let me tell you, Cozy Club, under Maurice, I think we might have a cool kind of unique Kingdom team starting to form together. And like we keep talking about, the Kingdom faction just keeps on getting characters to boost all the other ones up around it. They're all about assisting. If you look at Anna throwing her basic, you have Robin Hood with his passive. Now you've got the Goat that's going to assist the other Kingdom characters. There's a lot of assists on basics happening here, and this is just going to add to that. And again, remember, Quasi can call her to assist as well. All right, let's go ahead and check out her next ability, and this is really where the support role, you guys are going to see some pretty crazy stuff here. First of all, the Dance of Defiance. This character and adjacent teammates are going to gain the following effects. Now, first of all, she's going to cleanse a staggering 3 harmful effects. And that is going to be great to put her in that middle spot, have your 2 best allies in the back, and she's going to go ahead and take care of business there. Now, on top of this insane ability, if they are teammate and they didn't have a harmful effect, you're going to go ahead and give them haste for 1 turn, which is great to get them sped up. And then the Goat is going to go ahead and purge 1 helpful effect from each teammate. So the reason this is so huge is multiple taunts are going to be getting rid of on the battlefield. We live in this era of Baymax, Hercules, and Beast, and all these taunts on the field. If there's several taunts and not other helpful effects, bam, 1 ability, you're going to cleanse your own team, you're going to purge the other team, and open up the battlefield to go ahead and lay on some destruction. All right, so great ability, but let's look at the next one, Feast of Fools. And Feast of Fools, very solid for the raid, most likely, and some other PvP uses. Now, first of all, you're going to reduce the target's opponent's speed by 50%. You're going to also have them perform their basic attack, kind of like Mother Gothel, on a random opponent. Now, not just 1, but up to 2 additional enemies are going to go ahead and use their basic attack, which, guys, Beast, Hercules, Moana, Stitch, these very hard-hitting characters are going to be hitting their own teammates. It's kind of like a charm very quickly. Love this ability. Now, if Claude is an opponent, she's going to have some great kind of countering to that with a charm and offense up on him. So you're exactly getting the charm with Claude on the field. And then if all of that wasn't enough, you shut down 1 enemy with 50% turn meter drain. You go ahead and have all the enemies charms and hitting each other. And then on top of that, you're going to have a 60% chance for all of your teammates to gain one random helpful effect. Just the cherry on top. If it's Quasimodo, he's going to gain a guaranteed 2 helpful effects. Really, really like this ability. This is an extremely strong support ability. And again, I'm thinking both these characters on paper and stats, we'll have to see how they do in battle, but they look very solid. All right, so we went through a great basic, 2 great specials. Y'all, this passive ability, it's going to be nasty. First of all, if you're in the free-to-play world or Chubby Dolphin world and you're in that super silence meta still, you're going against Bubbles, Honey Lemon, even Ursula. She is going to be the counter to all things silence, guys. Here's a list of characters that can imply silence, and Esmeralda is going to effectively not only counter them, but counter Ursula's being on the battlefield, which is very much needed. Let's go ahead and check it out. When another teammate receives a harmful effect, she's going to have a 35% chance to flip it, not get rid of it, but flip that harmful effect on a teammate. So all those Hercules offense downs, she's going to flip to offense up, kind of like Honey Lemon. Now, this is what's awesome and interesting here. The chance is increased by 50%, so 85% chance if that effect is silence. So Ursula, beginning of the battle, is going to lay out those silence, and Esmeralda is going to go ahead and cleanse that. Have an 85% chance to cleanse, put unstoppable. If she happens to put that silence on Quasimodo, they're both going to gain harmful immunity up, and Quasi with all those protects and harmful immunity up, he's going to be a pain to deal with. These characters have a good amount of synergy to them, and it's mainly because of how they work in Esmeralda's plug and play ability specials and passives. Now, looking at the rest of it, if again that target is Quasi, they're both getting harmful up. So there's a lot to deal with both of those specials and this passive, and I think Esmeralda is really going to shine. Gone are the days of the silence on your favorite characters. This is really going to help a lot of teams catch back up. And again, speed is not going to be so important because even if you just get smacked in the face, you're going to have Esmeralda curing up the team, making sure everyone's good to go once their turn is ready, and then Quasi is going to take the damage. Now, she's going to have great survivability, and that's going to be due to both Quasi and also her passive. Her passive, Entrancing Exit, whenever she gets a harmful effect, she's going to have a 20% chance to go ahead and gain stealth and evasion, and on activation, the GOAT teammate there is going to gain both effects. And so really enjoy this entire kit, how it works. Esmeralda, she's got the support, she's got the stats, she's got the speed, and she's going to be hard to take down. So Quasi and Esmeralda, I think, make a perfect pairing. They're going to be really solid, and for the first time, it looks like some characters from the Tower event, outside of maybe Bubbles and Gantu, that look worth the farm. Prince Eric, Ariel, no, don't worry about them. These two actually look pretty solid. And so for free to play, don't worry about rushing to get them. But this is definitely going to be some characters that you want to focus on, especially that Kingdom faction. You always want to work on that. Really enjoying the stats, really enjoying the characters. I'm going to be testing them out a ton in the next coming days. So Cozy Club, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Love seeing characters that are going to be actually useful and Claude. Crazy stats, crazy abilities. Excited to review him on Monday. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, stay cozy.